Halo semua, apa kabar nih? Jumpa lagi di video kita yang kedua. In this video, I want to teach you how to greet and introduce yourself properly. But before we start our lesson, I want to review our previous lesson. Now, how do you say how are you? Please answer that. Next, how do you say how are you the friendlier way to somebody you've known? Please answer my question. Next, how do you say, hey, how are you? It's been a long time. Can you answer that? If you answer to those questions like this, halo, apa kabar? Udah lama nggak ketemu nih. If you answer it like that, that means you're not fluent yet. You still have to think. Please stop this video now and go back to lesson number 1. Because it's not about how much you learn, it's about how much you remember. Okay? Remember my teaching method. Pay attention to my intonation and my pronunciation. Listen to the same sentence for at least 5 times and then try to say it. Repeat the sentence over and over again, as many as possible. Now that's the key to be able to speak like native speaker. I believe that's what you want. I believe that's your goal. Okay, now let's start our lesson. Let's learn pronoun. To say I for formal is saya. Saya. For informal is aku. Aku. And most Jakartans, the people who live in Jakarta will say gue. Gue. For those of you who's been living in Jakarta for quite some time, I think you've heard that a lot. When Jakartans speak to each other and they mention the word gue. For example, gue mau nonton TV. Gue mau nonton TV. Example. To say you is beliau. That's very formal. Beliau. Another way to say you is Anda. Anda. Now, Anda is also formal, but it's less formal than beliau. Another word is kamu. Kamu. You use it when you're talking to little kids or somebody is younger than you. And to adult male, you say bapak. To adult female, you say ibu. And most Jakartans, people who live in Jakarta will say lo or lo. Maybe you've heard people say like this, lo mau kemana? Lo mau kemana? For he is dia. Dia. For she is also dia. We'll talk about it later, okay? For we is kami. Kami. Or kita. Kita. For you plural is kalian. Kalian. And they is mereka. Mereka. Okay, next. When you meet somebody in the morning, you say, Do you remember? Selamat pagi, or selamat pagi Pak, or selamat pagi Bu, apa kabar? But when somebody say that to you, how would you reply? Would you reply, fine, and you? Baik, dan Anda? Or baik, dan Bapak? Actually, Indonesians never say, and you? Instead, we say, fine, and how about you? Well, the exact translation of how about you is, bagaimana dengan Anda? But that's not really how we reply. Instead, we say, baik, Bapak gimana kabarnya? Or, baik, Ibu gimana kabarnya? So, if somebody greet you, selamat pagi Pak, apa kabar? You reply, baik, Bapak gimana kabarnya? Or, baik, Ibu gimana kabarnya? Don't say, baik, dan Anda? But you must say it with the right intonation, okay? Don't say it with this kind of intonation. Baik, Bapak gimana kabarnya? Baik, Ibu gimana kabarnya? Instead, we say, baik, Bapak gimana kabarnya? Baik, Ibu gimana kabarnya? So remember, never say, and you? Okay, next, when you're being introduced, never say, nice to meet you, because it sounds weird. Indonesians never say, nice to meet you. So, if you're being introduced to, for example, Mr. Matthew, if the one who introduced you say, Mr. Richard, this is my friend, Mr. Matthew. So I'll say, while shaking Mr. Matthew's hand, halo Pak Matthew, apa kabar? Not, halo Pak Matthew, senang bertemu dengan Anda. Never say that. But if somebody who introduced you didn't mention both names, sometimes it happens in Indonesia and it's normal. If that's the case, for example, he just said, this is my friend. He just said to you, hey, this is my friend. So you say, you just mention your name, Richard, and Matthew will say, Matthew. Just that. Okay? You don't have to say, nama saya Richard. You don't have to say that. Okay, so remember that. So there are two types of introduction. Okay, next. I know I've taught you how to ask the bill in a restaurant. Remember that? Remember that sentence? Mas, bilnya dong. Now, there is another way of saying it. If the waiter is a male, you say, Mas, bonnya dong. Bon, B-O-N, that's the bill. Now in this case, dong means please. So, Mas, bonnya dong. If the waiter is female, you say, Mbak, bonnya dong. To either male or female waiters, you say, minta bonnya dong. Alright, so far we've learned these sentences. Pronoun. To say I is saya for formal situation. For informal is aku. And people who live in Jakarta will say gue. Gue. To say you is beliau. That's very formal. Beliau. And then Anda. Anda is still formal but less formal than beliau. Anda. Another word is kamu. Kamu. You use it when you're talking to little kids or somebody is younger than you. To adult male, you say bapak. Bapak. To adult female, you say ibu. Ibu. And most Jakartans will say lo or elo. For example, lo mau kemana? Like that. Lo mau kemana? Not Anda mau kemana? That sounds too formal. So if you already close to that person, you just say lo mau kemana? Don't say Anda mau kemana? That's too formal. For he is dia. Dia. She is also dia. We is kami. Kami. Or kita. Kita. You plural is kalian. Kalian. They is mereka. Mereka. When somebody introduces you to Mr. Matthew, you say, "Halo, apa kabar Pak Matthew?" But if the one who introduced you didn't mention both names, you just say your name while shaking Mr. Matthew's hand. Richard. And then Matthew will say, Matthew. Okay? Never say, nice to meet you, or senang bertemu dengan Anda. To ask for a bill in a restaurant, to a male waiters, you say, Mas, bonnya dong. Mas, bonnya dong. To a female waiters, you say, Mbak, bonnya dong. Mbak, bonnya dong. To either male or female, you say, minta bonnya dong. Minta bonnya dong. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. Until then, thank you. Have a good one.